Hello friends, welcome back to our weekly update session on banking and financial awareness. So in this video, these banking updates we are covering between 22nd June to 30th June, so which will be useful for your all upcoming banking and instant rate exams. So before starting our session, if you're watching first time our channel, please don't forget to subscribe our channel. And let's start our session without any further delay. Now the first question says Yuva Pay mobile app launched by which bank in partnership with UDMA Technologies? The answer is Yes Bank. Yes, Yuva Pay. It is a digital wallet solution which has been launched by Yes Bank in a partnership with this UDMA Technologies. We'll see about this Yuva Pay app. So with the help of this app, customers will be able to pay their utility bills such as municipal, house rent, house tax, water tax, electricity, LPG, DTH, mobile, and like other insurance renewal payments, fast track recharges, so many are like EMI payments. So use the app to make payments at retail outlets also. So it is launched to enable contactless payment for their customers. So both organizations, this Yes Bank and Redmond Technologies, have developed this app with the minimum KYC regulations. So the app is aims to help the low income group to access this digital and contactless transactions. And also this app will enable broad access to secure electronic payment services. So the main purpose of this app is customers will be able to pay their utility bills, which are mobile, license, house, municipal, and other payments. The main purpose of this app is to help the low income group to access digital and contactless transactions. So the app name is Pay. So when it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of Yes Bank, Mumbai, and the present MD and CEO of this Yes Bank, Prashant Kumar. And when it comes to this UDM Technology, so it is headquartered Bangalore, Karnataka. Here the answer is Yes Bank. Now, second question says, who is appointed to head the committee to look into insurance products to be offered to drones? So, insurance products to be offered to drones. For that, who appointed as the head of that committee? So, here the answer is Anjan De. So, Anjan De, he is the general manager of New India Assurance, and now he has been appointed to head committee to look into insurance products to be offered to drones. So this committee is formulated by IRDA, so Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. So the insurance products which will cover various risks involved in the use of these drones. So the drones will call it as this one RAPS. So RAPS, it is abbreviation remotely piloted aircraft systems. So we'll call it as drones also. So this RAPS abbreviation, it is very important. It may ask in upcoming examinations. So RAPS abbreviation remotely piloted aircraft systems. So now this he is Anjande, he is a head committee to look into insurance products to be offered to these drones or RAPs. So now when it comes to static part of this question, the IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India, it is headquarters Hyderabad. The present chairman of this IRDA, Dr. Subhash Chandra Kuntia. Here the answer is Anjande. He appointed as head committee of for this insurance product related to drones. Now third question says which state government cabinet amended their Industries Act? So which state government has amended their Industries Act? So here the answer is Karnataka. So the Karnataka government has amended the Karnataka Industries Facilitation Act 2002. So the act name is the Karnataka Industries Facilitation Act 2002. So the amendment is done at the state cabinet meeting chaired by our Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa ji. So this amendment is done with an aim to facilitate and attract investment in the state. So why they amended this act? They are going their aim to facilitate and attract the investment in the state all over the world. So as per the amendment, the industry does not need statutory permissions for the first 3 years to set up operations in the state. So as per these amendments, the industry does not need statutory permissions for the first 3 years to set up operations in the states. So permissions, the permissions which are like under municipal state laws, so like trade licenses and building plan approvals, which will promote easy of doing businesses, and it will create investments in the state, so that they will attract many investments in across the world. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the Karnataka state present Chief Minister Ms. Yediyurappa, the Governor of Karnataka Vajubai Rajubai Wala. So here the answer is Karnataka. Friends, you can follow our channel in social platforms like Telegram, Facebook and Instagram. These links I have provided in description section. Now the fourth question says, which country or countries world's first gold-backed digital gold currency was launched? So first digital gold currency was launched. So here the answer is India and Africa. So IBMC Financial Professional Group, which is an international financial services institution and business consultancy, has partnered with this US gold currency and Blockfields in order to launch the world's first gold backed US gold digital currency. So the gold backed US gold currency is launched for the first time in world in India, Gulf Cooperation Council GCC and the Middle East and Africa. The US gold currency is basically the issuer of US gold digital currency, and Blockfields is a transaction platform provider. So it was launched from Dubai, UAE at the specially designed IBMC hybrid event in virtual way. So at the virtual event, the officials from US Gold Currency, Asian African Development Council, GSEF and Blockfields USA were present this virtual meet. So each US gold digital currency is backed by US American Eagle. So it is equal to 1 ounce. So 1 ounce means 33.931 grams gold coin. So this was minted by US Federal Agency, that is US Mint. So the holder or the owner of the currency can redeem their digital asset as a physical gold coin or in US dollars from any part of the world. So that was about this gold backed currency. So here the answer is India and Africa are the world's first gold backed digital gold currency was launched. Here the answer is India and Africa. And the fifth question says a dash amount of guarantee cover will be offered to MSMEs under the distressed asset fund. So that is subordinated debt for MSMEs. So which is the credit guarantee scheme for subordinated debt, that is CGSSD. Credit guarantee scheme for subordinated debt. So here the answer is 20,000 crores. So a distressed asset fund subordinated debt for MSMEs. So it is a credit guarantee scheme for subordinate debts, CGSSD. The scheme is launched by our Union Minister of MSME Nitin Gadkari ji. So the scheme will provide 20,000 crore guarantee cover to about 2 lakh MSMEs. So this will provide 20,000 crore guarantee cover to about 2 lakh MSMEs all over the country. So the distressed asset fund, that is subordinated debt for MSMEs, is a part of under Atmanirbhar Bharat package, and that aims to subordinate the debt to the promoters of operational but stressed MSMEs. So the scheme will be extended to support the promoters of the operational MSMEs which are stressed and have become NPA as on 30th April 2020. So the scheme will be extended to support to whom the promoters of operation MSMEs which are stressed and have become NPA as on 30th April 2020. So to promoters of such MSMEs will be given a credit equal to 15% of equity of their stake or a finance of 75 lakh, so whichever is lower. So to promoters such MSMEs which are going to become NPA on 30th April 2020, so to the promoter such MSMEs will be given a credit equal to 15% of equity or their stake or the finance of 75 lakh. So the promoters infuse the amount of this MSME and units as equity and enhance the equity and maintain the debt equity ratio. So 90% of the guarantee coverage of this subordinate debt will be given under the scheme and 10% would become the concerning promoters. So the maximum tenure for this payment is 10 years. Sorry. So here the answer is 20,000 crores. This amount guarantee cover will be offered by MSMEs under distressed assets fund, that is subordinated debt for MSME. So this which is a credit guarantee scheme for subordinated debts, that is CGSSD. The answer is 20,000 crores. So this scheme will provide 20,000 crores guarantee covered to about around 2 lakh MSMEs in India. Now Siscon says, which union minister announced that all cooperative banks will come under the supervision of RBI, Reserve Bank of India? It is really important question for upcoming examination. So which union minister announced that all cooperative banks will come under the supervision of Reserve Bank of India? So here the answer is Prakash Javadekar. The government of India has taken the decision to bring an ordinance to put all cooperative banks under the supervision of Reserve Bank of India. So in India, all public sector and private sector banks comes under supervision of Reserve Bank of India. In the same time, all corporate banks also, with this new announcement, the Government of India has taken the decision to bring an ordinance to put all cooperative banks under the supervision of Reserve Bank of India. So here the answer is Prakash Javadekar. So the decision was announced by our Prakash Javadekar. So as per this decision, around 1,482 urban cooperative banks and around 58 multi-state cooperative banks will comes under this supervision and control of Reserve Bank of India. So therefore, the powers of which RBI put on all scheduled banks, so which now be able to cooperate banks as well. So because this decision, more than 86 million depositors, so will get an assurance that their money will be safe. The amount will be around 4.84 trillions will remain safe. So the decision to bring the cooperative banks under the RBI supervision control was taken because cooperative banks from a long time are facing weakness in their financial system due to lack of adequate oversight. So therefore, under the limelight of RBI, there will be an upliftment. So in the financial system of these cooperative banks. So the ordinance for the same will be implemented provision immediately while the law is amended in Parliament. So because of PMC's fraud, PMC's bankruptcy. So it is one of the issue uh, for making this amendment. So the now Government of India has taken the decision to bring an ordinance to put all cooperative banks under the supervision of Reserve Bank of India. So here the answer is the Union Minister, Mr. Prakash Javadekar ji, has taken this announcement by doing all cooperative banks will come under supervision of Reserve Bank of India. So here the answer is Prakash Javadekar. Now seventh question says, which private sector bank has launched Swasth card? So here the answer is Yes Bank. So Yes Bank has partners affordable plan to launch a health card and wallets integration under the Swasth program. So a first of its kind of proportion in the healthcare. The Swasth card, it is a co-branded healthcare card launched by Yes Bank in a partnership with a Delhi-based fintech company. That company name is Afford Plan. Yes Bank in a partnership with Afford Plan. Afford Plan, it is a Delhi-based fintech company. It is specialized in healthcare, and they both were announced to launch a Swasth card. It is a co-branded healthcare card under the Swasth program. So in its endeavor to enable families plan and manage their finances for their healthcare needs. So in addition, S Bank's wallet has also been integrated on affordable plan Swasth to enable wallet, that is QR scans for making payments to merchant partners empaneled on their affordable Swasth app. So here the answer is Yes Bank. So when it comes to starting part of this question, Yes Bank headquarters Mumbai, the tagline of Yes Bank, experience or expertise. The present MD and CEO of Yes Bank, Mr. Prashant Kumar. So Swasth card, it is a co-branded healthcare card launched by Yes Bank in a partnership with a Delhi-based fintech startup company, Afford Plan. Now, eighth question says, which public sector bank tie-ups with four insurance companies to sell their insurance products? So here the answer is UCO Bank. UCO Banks tie-ups with four insurance companies to sell their insurance products. So here the answer is UCO Bank. So UCO Bank signs a bank assurance pact with SBI Life Insurance to supply insurance solutions to purchase of UCO Banks at its 3,000 plus branches spread across the country. So we'll see what about bank assurance. So bank assurance is it's a partnership with the bank and insurance firm where the bank sells the tied insurance company's insurance products to its clients. So the bank sells the tied insurance company's insurance products in banks, so to its bank clients. So that is called it as bank insurance. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of UCO Bank, Kolkata, West Bengal, the present MD and CEO of the UCO Bank, Atul Kumar Goyal. Here the answer is UCO Bank. Friends, I am providing these weekly updates from March month onwards. So any one of you missed our previous months or weeks updates on this bank and financial news, so you can reach playlist section and take weekly updates playlist. So there every week's banking and financial updates you could see. So you can pick and watch it if you are missed. Now the ninth question says the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, has extended a special liquidity window of rupees dash by another 3 months to the private sector bank Yes Bank. So Reserve Bank of India has extended a special liquidity window rupees of dash by another 3 months to the private sector bank Yes Bank. So here the answer is rupees 50,000 crores. The RBI has extended a special liquidity window for the rupees of 50,000 crore by another 3 months to the private sector bank Yes Bank. So the decision was taken in order to avoid a shortfall in deposits to be faced by Yes Bank. So therefore now Yes Bank can access 50,000 crore liquidity window if the outflow of the deposits exceeds the accretion of fresh deposits. So initially S banks was provided with a special liquidity window in the month of March for the 3 months, so which is ended in June. So further they extended 3 months. So the RBI has made emergency credit line nearly 600 billion rupees available when S Bank was under the moratorium. So that restricted deposit withdrawal of 50,000 crores. So therefore now this extension allowed by RBI and S Bank will help S Bank to meet regularity requirement and fund its growth. So the decision was taken in order to avoid a shortfall in deposits to be faced by the bank. So here the answer is 50,000 rupees crores. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the S Bank headquarters Mumbai, the present MD and CEO of this S Bank, Prashant Kumar. Now 10th question says name of the product launched by Karnataka Bank to provide financial assistance to MSMEs. We'll see question once again. Name of the product launched by Karnataka Bank to provide financial assistance to MSMEs. So here the answer is KBL Micro Mitra. So a new financial support product of micro, small and medium enterprises has been launched by Karnataka Bank. So the product name is KBL Micro Mitra. The KBL Micro Mitra offers the financial assistance and support of 10 lakh to micro manufacturing services enterprise as working capital support or investment purpose support. So it is equal to 10 lakh. So with a simplified procedure and competitive interest rates. So it is main with a simplified procedure and competitive interest rates. So here the answer is KBL Micro Mitra. So it is a new scheme launched by Karnataka Bank to provide financial assistance to MSMEs. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of Karnataka Bank, Mangalore, Karnataka, the present MD and CEO of Karnataka Bank, Mahabaleshwara MS. Now 11th question says, what is the GDP growth for the financial year 2020 marked by Moody's Investor Service? So in its latest global macro outlook report 2021. So the answer is 3.1%. Moody's Investor Service has been released their global macro output 2021 report. So as per this latest report for the month of June, the rating agency has projected India's GDP to shrink at 3.1% for the financial year 2020. So the GDP is to shrink at 3.1% for the financial year 2020. So the reason described for the GDP percent is outbreak of this novel COVID-19 in the country, which has led to a stoppage of economic growth activities. The country is facing lockdown situation to combat and contain this pandemic. So, however, the rating agency has projected to grow to be at around 6.9% for the financial year 2021. So, as per this latest report of the month of June, the rating agency has projected India's GDP to shrink 3.1%. So now when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of Moody's Investor Services, it is US based, so it is a headquarters in New York, US, United States, and the present MD and CEO of this Moody's Investor Services, Raymond. So Raymond McDaniel Jr. So he is the present MD and CEO of this Moody's Invest. So the Moody's Investor Services has released this Global Macro Outlook Report 2021. Here the answer is 3.1%. Now, 12th question says, which organization has provided a financial support to USD 1.05 million US dollars to create jobs opportunities in which country? Bangladesh country. So here the answer is World Bank. The World Bank has provided a financial support of USD 1.05 billions to create job opportunities in Bangladesh. So due to this COVID-19, Bangladesh facing many this employment issue. So due to that, the World Bank has supported around 1.05 billion US dollars financial assistance to support to create a jobs in Bangladesh country. Now, technical says Hyundai Motor India Limited has partnered with which bank to offer industry first online auto retail financing to its customers. So first online retail financing to its customers. So the answer is HDFC Bank. So Hyundai Motor India Limited HMIL has partnered with HDFC Bank will offer industry first online auto retail facing on its end-to-end automated retail platform, that is click to buy. So that is click to buy to their customers. So now HDFC Bank will offer customized car financing solution to their customers via online car buying platform. HDFC Bank will offer customized car financing solution to their customers via online car buying platform, that is click to buy. So the click to buy, it is an online purchasing platform launched by this Hyundai Motor India Limited during this lockdown situation of COVID-19. So in order to have a safe and contactless car purchasing process. Now when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of this Hyundai Motor India Limited, it is Delhi, and HDFC headquarters, it is in Mumbai. The present chairman of HDFC Bank, Deepak S. Parekh. Deepak S. Parekh. So this HDFC Bank will offer customized car financing solution to their customers via online car buying platform. So this is click to buy a platform is to purchase a car and remotely and the contact in order to have a safe and contactless car purchasing process due to COVID-19. So the answer is HDFC Bank. Friends, I am providing these weekly updates from March month onwards. So, any one of you missed our previous months or weeks updates on this bank and financial news, so you can reach playlist section and take weekly updates playlist. So, there every week's banking and financial updates you could see. So, you can pick and watch it if you are missed. Now, the 14th question says, who will head the committee formed by Niti Aayog to develop a job platform for migrant workers? So to develop a job platform for migrant workers. So the answer is Amitabh Kant. He is the present CEO of Niti Aayog. So we made a video on Niti Aayog also. So you can check in our playlist session. So now the Government of India think tank policy, Niti Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India. So Niti Aayog has formed a committee of top executives of companies. So to develop a job platform which will help migrant workers and blue collar workers to migrant workers and blue collar workers to get job opportunities who have lost their jobs during this lockdown situation COVID-19. Now the committee will include executives of companies like Google, Microsoft, Tech Mahindra. So the committee is included these executives, and the group of committee will be chaired by this our CEO Niti Aayog, Amitabh Kant. So the job platform developed by Niti Aayog will make use of technology so that there will be a public and private participation. So and will connect job seekers, employers, government agencies, and various skill centers. So who are using the technologies like artificial intelligence and other machine learning programs. So now the government of India that think tank policy Niti Aayog has framed a committee of top executives of companies to develop a job platform which will help for migrant workers and who have lost their jobs during this lockdown situation. So for that this Niti Aayog framed a committee. So for that committee the head will be the Amitabh Kant. So the answer is Amitabh Kant. Now when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of Niti Aayog, it is in New Delhi, and the chairman of Niti Aayog, Narendra Singh Modi, and MD and CEO of Niti Aayog, Amitabh Kant, not MD, CEO of Amitabh Kant. And also one more important question, the vice chairman of Niti Aayog. So vice chairman of Niti Aayog is Rajiv Kumar. So the head of the chairman of the Niti Aayog Narendra Singh Modi, and CEO of Niti Aayog Amitabh Kant, and Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog Rajiv Kumar. So that was about our Niti Aayog and the committee. Now next one says recently Reserve Bank of India has allowed an extension in withdrawal limit of PMC bank depositors from 50,000 rupees to dash rupees. So you know already about the PMC bank fraud. So now Reserve Bank of India has allowed an extension of withdrawal limit of PMC bank depositors from 50,000 rupees to how much? So here the answer is 1 lakh rupees. Reserve Bank of India has raised the limit of withdrawal from Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank to rupees 1 lakh from 50,000, but has extended a moratorium on the bank for another 6 months. So the moratorium was initially imposed till 23rd June 2020, but now it is extended to 22nd December 2020. So for the extended around 6 months. The moratorium on the bank for another 6 months. This decision is taken by the Bank of India after the reviewing of the bank's liquidity position. So its ability to pay the desired amount to its depositors and to provide relied on during a pandemic situation COVID-19 to bank's customers. So after this decision, about 84% of the bank's deposits will be able to withdraw their amount. So it is good news for depositors. So now they can withdraw up to 1 lakh rupees from their accounts. So now when it comes to starting part of this question, the RBI headquarters Mumbai, the governor of RBI Shaktikant Das. So PMC Cooperative Bank, it is Maharashtra based cooperative bank, Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank. Now cooperative banks are recently made an amendment for that act. It is comes under RBI supervision. Now 16th question says which Indian bank has offered financial support to Nicaragua government? So our India's Exim Bank, Export Import Bank, has offered financial support to Nicaragua government under LOC, line of credit method. So around USD dollars 2.10 millions. So 2.10 million of US dollars line of credit we are providing through Exim Bank to Nicaragua government to carry out the construction of Chavaria Hospital. So the purpose of giving this financial support to construction of Chavaria Hospital. So now when it comes to starting part of this question, headquarters of Exim Bank, it is India, Mumbai, and the Nicaragua government, and sorry, Nicaragua country's capital, Managua, and the currency of Nicaragua, Nicaraguan Cordoba. So it is African-based country. So here the answer is Exim Bank offering this financial support to Nicaragua government. Now next question says what is the minimum amount to be issued for a floating rate savings bond taxable scheme? Floating rate savings bond taxable scheme FRSB. So here the answer is 1000 rupees. The government of India has introduced a new floating rate savings bonds FRSB, which is a taxable scheme in place of 7.75% savings bond scheme 2018. So we'll see about this scheme. The new introduction of this floating rate savings bond scheme FRSB will be in effect from 1st July 2020. So next month onwards, so the initial 7.75% savings taxable bond scheme that 2008 were seized for subscription from the close of banking business recently. So the now new FRSB scheme is going to issue a floating rate taxable savings bond for an initial coupon of 7.15% payable on 1st January 2021. So these bonds will be issued by RBI, Reserve Bank of India, on behalf of Government of India. So these floating rate savings bond scheme they will issue by Reserve Bank of India on behalf of Government of India with this rate of interest of 7.15%. So the FRSB scheme, this floating rate savings bond scheme will work an inflation hedge by saving the government from higher cost when rates are low. This FRSB scheme will work as an inflation hedge by saving the government from higher cost when rates are low. The minimum amount of this scheme will be 1000 rupees with no upper limit, so no maximum limit, and the interest rate on these bonds will be payable by semi-annually. That is 1st Jan to 1st July every year. So the tenure of this bond is 7 years. So if you want to invest this floating rate savings bond scheme, uh, minimum scheme for amount is 1000 rupees and maximum no limit, and the interest is payable on these bonds will be payable by semi-annually, that is 1st Jan to July of the every year. Here the answer is 1000. Now next question says which country hosted G20 Extraordinary Virtual Education Ministers Meet? G20 Extraordinary Virtual Education Ministers Meet. So the answer is Saudi Arabia. Our Union Minister of Human Resource and Development, Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, is represented India in G20 Extraordinary Virtual Education Ministers Meet. So the virtual ministers meet. This was organized to address the disruption caused in education sector in G20 nations due to outbreak of this pandemic COVID-19. So this virtual meet is disruption caused in education sector in G20 nations. So the HRD minister provided a brief review of the actions taken by India to boost education during this pandemic period, like online classes and in other online modes to conduct the classes for in education system. So the meeting was held under the presidency of this Saudi Arabia. So the G20 countries assured to take collaborative measures to improve learning process in the G20 nations. So here the answer is Saudi Arabia is hosted in this G20 extraordinary virtual education meet. Our Indian HRD minister Ramesh Poinga, his addresser is represented from India for this meet. Friends, I am providing these weekly updates from March month onwards. So, any one of you missed our previous months or weeks updates on this bank and financial news, so you can reach playlist section and take weekly updates playlist. So, there every week's banking and financial updates you could see. So, you can pick and watch it if you are missed it. The next important question is which country topped the annual banking statistics 2019 report released by the Swiss National Bank? Recently, Swiss National Bank released this annual banking statistics report 2019. So here the answer is United Kingdom, UK, uh, the Switzerland Central Bank. This Swiss National Bank has released this annual banking statistics report 2019. As per this report, India is ranked at position of 77th position. So UK is a top country and India is 77th position in terms of money parked by the citizens and enterprise with Swiss banks 2019. So in 2018, India ranked at position 74. Now it is became 77. So this year, India holds 0.06% of the money deposited in Swiss bank. So the list is topped by obviously UK. So followed by United States, US. And when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of Swiss National Bank, it is Zurich, Switzerland. The chairman of President Swiss National Bank, Thomas Jordan. So as per this annual banking reports, UK is the top and followed by US, and our India position is 77th position. In 2018, our Indian position was 74th. Here the answer is UK. Now next question says central government has provided 4,125 crore rupees to regenerate small, medium and tiny industry sector for which state? Of which state? So here the answer is Tamil Nadu state. The Tamil Nadu state got this much 4,125 crore rupees for their tiny industries, that small and medium industries, to regenerate them. So the government of India, the central government has come up with a decision to regenerate the small and medium and tiny industry sector in Tamil Nadu. For this purpose, the central government has allotted financial assistance rupees of 4,125 crores to Tamil Nadu state. So this the forms 10% of the it forms 10% of the total allocation of the scheme. So the financial support will be effectively utilized in the state to uplift this sector, that is small, medium and tiny industry sector. Now when it comes to starting part of this question, the Tamil Nadu CM name is Thiru Edappi K. Palaniswamiji and the present governor of Tamil Nadu state, Banwariwala Purohit. Here the answer is Tamil Nadu state. Now next question says Government of India has taken a decision to ban dash number of Chinese mobile phone apps. So here the answer is 59. Government of India has taken decision to ban these 59 Chinese mobile phone apps. So which are TikTok, Share It, UC Browser, Club Factory. All the apps or prominent apps have been blocked amid rising tensions between India and China following clashes at border 2 weeks ago. So that's why the straight away government of India said applications these are engaged in activities like prejudicial to sovereignty and integrity of India, defense of India, security of state and public order. So this ban has been imposed under section 69A. So friends, this is very important, under 69A of IT Act 2009, Information Technology Act 2009. So the ban has been imposed under Section 69A of IT Act 2019. So the government of India also cited complaints about data on Indian users being transferred data abroad without authorization. So these apps, these UC browser, ShareIt, TikTok, these apps have been there for a long time, and there are some privacy and security issues with them, including risks of data going out of the country. So that's why the government of India has taken a decision to ban these 59 Chinese mobile phone apps. So this ban announced by Ministry of Electronics and IT, Information Technology. This decision was taken, announced by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Friends, that was about weekly updates from 11th May to 24th May. So if you like this video, please like, comment and share. If you're not yet subscribed our channel, please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates to your mobile whenever I will upload new video. So thanks for watching. Jai Hind.